Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful Super Saturday here at Crufts. And let me remind you once again, too, that right around the world, they're seeing pictures of what is going on in this arena at this very moment, in Australia, wherever, thanks to the streaming on YouTube, and then click Crufts. This is going on live. So why don't we give them a wave, wherever they are in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Australia, Asia, you name it, give them a wave. Are we having fun? Are you sure? Are you having fun? Good, wonderful. Well, we've got lots more to come this afternoon. But of course, as is always, there is a serious side to the dog world, as well as the wonderful agility and excitement that we've just been watching. Not only are the dogs so important for those people who are less able, perhaps, than some of ourselves, but also, too, of course, for the services. And in the next hour or so, we're going to celebrate both. For this year is the 30th anniversary of the Hearing Dogs for Deaf People. And we're going to give you now a wonderful anniversary display. It's my very great pleasure to welcome one of the many guests from the stage and, of course, TV and theatre as well, to enjoy the wonderful moments here at Crufts. I wanted to give a very, very big welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Pam St Clements. Well, of course, Pam St Clement, known and loved to so many as Pat Butcher, Pat Evans in EastEnders, and Pam actually has also appeared in many, many other films and television, Minder, Shoestring, Van der Valk, even Emmerdale too, and there were some film roles that Pam played her part, Piggle's Adventures in Time, Hitler's SS, Portrait of Evil, and The Bunker. Pam, it's so, so good to have you here. Actually, she joined EastEnders in 1986 and became the second longest member of that great show. That is fantastic. And of course, it was around Christmas this year when we had those sad scenes of Pam leaving EastEnders. But we're thrilled to have you here, Pam, particularly to celebrate the anniversary, the 30th anniversary of the Hearing Dogs for Deaf People. Ladies and gentlemen, to tell you more, it is Pam St Clements.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very special event. Because this week, Hearing Dogs for Deaf People is launching its 30th year celebrations. Now, I have been a long-term supporter of this fabulous charity, and I've witnessed often firsthand how these very special dogs change the lives of deaf people right across the UK, giving them greater independence, confidence, as well as companionship. Now, in a moment, Angie Platten, who's over there, and the Hearing Dogs for Deaf People demonstration team will show you all just how the charity is a world leader in the training of these brilliant dogs. But first, I'd like you to meet a few of the 1,600 people whose lives are being changed thanks to their hearing dogs. Aren't they fabulous? Don't we wish all our dogs at home were as well behaved? Lovely. Well, I know you, young man. Hello, Sam. Hi. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Now, Sam, what do you think of Ember? This is Ember, isn't it?
I think she is a really, really caring dog, and if you're upset, she'll always make sure you're okay. And she just, I love her a bit.
And so that's how she's changed her life. Any other things? I mean, what would you feel like if you didn't have Ember?
just feel alone and I'm just really, really happy to have her.
Thank you very much, Sam. Jane is Sam's mum. Now, Jane, what's the biggest change you've noticed in Sam since he's had Kurt? Ember.
I think the biggest change is the confidence that Sam's had, and he's far more happy to talk to people because he talks about his dog.
Yeah, that's a wonderful point of contact, isn't it? Lovely. Please give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Oh, look. Marsh is wondering what I've got in my hand. It's not edible. Phil, tell me about Marsh. How does he help you?
Well, Marsh has become a very integral part of my life. When you become disabled, as I did at about 33 years of age, and lose hearing, you need to put in place some coping mechanisms. It's very important. Marsh has become my coping mechanism, enables me to live life a little bit more independently, which is very important to me.
That's fantastic. How would you feel if you didn't have him?
Yeah, that's a question I'll have to answer to one day. To lose Marsh would be like losing everything that I've gained over the 6 years I've had him. I would be pushed back out to the sort of edges of social inclusion. Deaf people tend to live out there. They're not that included in society.
I hope that moment doesn't come too soon for you, but I think that the confidence you've gained through him is probably something that will always be there. Thanks, Phil, very much. Oh, now. James, hello, my dear. I'm just going to speak to your mum first. Louise, what was life like for James before he had Kurt?
Well, I think as a deaf person, it can be a very isolating experience. When James takes his hearing aids out at night, he's simply there on his own in the dark. It can be very isolating. So Kurt's given him some wonderful company.
Fantastic. And what changes have you noticed in James since he's had Kurt?
Well, I think as Sam's mum said as well, James has talk non-stop about dogs. Talking for James is quite a challenge, as you can imagine, so to give him a topic that he feels confident about talking about is wonderful.
Thank you very much. And James, is Kurt your best friend?
Yeah, he's my best friend with Kurt.
And what does he do for you that's very special?
I love Kurt and he pulls the do there in the morning. Yeah.
He wakes you up, pulling the dough there off you. That's wonderful. Thank you very much indeed, James. Thank you. Give him a lovely round of applause. And now, over to Angie Platten of Hearing Dogs for Deaf People, who'll tell you exactly how these amazing dogs work.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Now, you've seen our wonderful partnerships and you've heard what they had to say about the difference the dogs have made to them. But next, I'd like to welcome into the arena some of our very special working dogs to show you some of the technical ways our dogs help deaf people. So welcoming, first of all, into the ring, we have Jan with Erin over here. Round of applause for Jan and Erin. Erin is a 9-year-old veteran working dog, and this is her last time at Crufts. Okay, next up we have Catherine over there with Bruce, Black Labrador, 5 years old. Round of applause for Catherine. And finally, in the far corner, we have Jay with Cedar with a lovely flat coat over there coming into the ring. Okay, so we'd like to take some time now to show you some of the practical ways our dogs help deaf people, some of the ways that the dogs respond to sounds, and what we're famous for, but also the ways that that helps a deaf person develop their sense of independence and be able to respond to those sounds every morning. So, you see at the moment, we seem to have some strangers in the ring. We seem to have volunteers selected from the audience earlier on today. So I'll just wander over here. I'm not quite sure where we've got them from, but they look a bit frightened. Okay, what's your name?
Martine.
Nice to see you. Are you ready for this? You are? Okay. And I'll save my legs, but we've got another volunteer in that bed over there. Okay, so you just need to imagine what it must be like for a deaf person. Going to bed at night, taking out their hearing aids, and that's it. That's the end of the sounds they hear for the day. So in the morning, when they need to get up for the alarm clock, they need to get to meetings, they need to catch a train, they need to be able to have a dog that works for them and be able to get up to make those meetings. But it can be a very stressful time if you don't have a hearing dog. You don't have the usual sounds in the morning that, you know, wake us up. Sounds in the house, birds singing, traffic. So they have to rely on their hearing dog. So it's a very special way in which they work. So I'll wander over here so you can hear the sound that the dog will respond to, and we'll see what happens. Done. Well done, dogs. Well done. And how was that for you?
That was wonderful, better than the alarm.
Yes. Nice way to wake up in the morning, and I can guarantee our dogs do not have a snooze button. So very good. Because it's hard to get up in the morning. How is it for you, Pam? Yep. She's saying she's very used to it.
I'm very used to it. That's it, I'm on air again. Lovely. I'm very used to it. I think the earliest call I ever had on an EastEnders location was a make-up call at 4:30 in the morning.
Ooh, not nice, not nice,
not nice.
Okay, next up we'd like to show you another sound. I do need a special helper, so I need you two to be able to support me with this, very special guest. And we'd like to show you how the dogs respond to a doorbell. Now again, doorbell, very standard sound. We all take this for granted. And actually, it can be quite irritating at times. But for a deaf person, it can lead to a great deal of anxiety, not knowing, oh, Erin's excited, it's getting exciting, not knowing when someone's going to come to the door. We have recipients who tell us, my friend came round, and they rang, and they rang, and they rang the doorbell, and I didn't know, so they went home again. And that's not very nice. So certainly the doorbell is a very important sound for everybody. So, the dogs are all set up, they're all ready. So you can see our doorbell in the middle here, and we'll see, hopefully, what happens when the sound goes off. So. Okay, so they're all alerting, and they're asking what is it, and they're coming back. Well done. Well done. Round of applause. Okay, so that's super. So you saw what the dogs did that time. They all went to their owners and they alerted with a physical touch, with the support of the leg. Now, you see we've got retriever types here today, but we also train very small breeds. We've got Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, we have Poodles, we have Cocker Spaniels, and even Shih Tzus do this work, and crosses of. So it's, the dogs do work in different ways depending on their breed and depending on the need of the person. So they all alerted with a paw, but we do have dogs that alert with a nose nudge or a scrabble. And you'll have seen the hearing dogs for deaf children. Well, all of those dogs, they nudge with their nose, because obviously children don't want a big paw on them, or if you're perhaps older. And then you'll have seen what they did then, is they asked the dog, what is it? And they used a little bit of British Sign Language, because that's the first language for some of the people that come to us for hearing dogs. And they asked the dog, where is it? And off they shot to the door. Okay, right, I'd like to show you another sound now. This is one of the most important sounds, and the one that most of our applicants say, I really do worry about this. You know, it's a smoke alarm. pretty much. It's a high-frequency sound, and lots of deaf people can't pick up this sound because it's the first type of hearing that starts to deteriorate when people lose their hearing. So it's a sound that's very important and one of the first to go. So we would like to show you how our dogs work with this sound. You can see that all the trainers here, they're doing day-to-day activities, and that's very important when we're training the dogs. They need to be able to respond in any situation. So Jay's mopping, and Catherine's making the bed, and, well, Jan's just sat reading the magazine, really. So nice and simple. Okay, so you'll see what happens when we set off the smoke alarm. Oh, we're doing well. Bruce is just thinking, yes, there we go, alarm clock. Fantastic. Round of applause for the dogs, please. Bruce, you may have seen, earlier in the week, he was on the breakfast show, so he's had a bit of work this week, a bit tiring for him, so it's been an extreme week for him. So you see what happened that time? The dogs alerted to the smoke alarm, and when they were asked what is it, they dropped to the floor to signal danger. And that's very important because we don't want any of the dogs leading to a room filled with smoke. We want them to drop to the floor to signal this is time to check out whether you've burnt your toast or whether the house is on fire. So, you know, it's a very important thing. And we know many of our working dogs, they've actually responded to this for real when there's been real fires, either in their own home or in the neighbour's home. So the dogs are very clever how they develop this. Okay then, we've said goodbye to Jan. She's disappeared out with Erin, and we've just got the 2 dogs left. I need some food for this. It's very important. And we'd like to show you our final sound, which is a call. Now, this is really useful when you have more than one person in the household, and I need to get the attention of the deaf person. But if you imagine they're in the living room, and I'm upstairs. So instead of coming all the way downstairs, I can use the dog to go back and forth. Okay, so we'll give this a go. It's a long distance. Are we ready? Woo! Who's that? Cedar! Off we go. Cedar! Call Mum. Call her. Good boy, Bruce. Well done. Oh, good girl, Cedar. Yay. Good girl. Good girl. Good. Good girl. Lovely. Super. Okay, very nice. We're doing synchronized dog work now. It's excellent. So that's actually a good way to save your legs, but actually it's been used in emergency situations. We've had recipients who've been in a household and their partner's on kidney dialysis. Machines become detached. They can't call for help because the person in the house is deaf, but they've ended up using the dog. So it's a fantastic way that the dogs can help save lives in many situations, and save your legs as well. Okay, so that's the end of our sound work demonstration. You've seen the technical way in which the dogs work, but as you've seen earlier with our partnerships, it's far more than responding to sounds. The dogs do give the people so much more confidence to be able to step outside the home, knowing they have their dog, burgundy jacket, everybody knows they're deaf, but is considerate, and the dog will respond to any sounds they need. So thank you very much for watching. I would like to hand back now, when we trot across the ring, back to Pam, our wonderful supporter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angie, and thanks very much to the demo team that I think are absolutely brilliant. As I mentioned earlier, I'm proud to be associated with Hearing Dogs for Deaf People, and again, I extend my congratulations on their 30 years of excellence. Fantastic. Since 1982, this wonderful charity has created partnerships right across the UK, bringing a new lease of life to their recipients, allowing them to do, well, the simple things in life that, frankly, we take for granted. But more importantly, removing the isolation, stress, and anxiety that deafness can often bring. And you heard that when I was speaking to some of the recipients there. The most terrifying thing must actually be at night, on your own, in the dark, and not be able to hear. Anyway, it gives me very great pleasure to welcome back to the arena just some of the hearing dog partnerships created by the charity, and of course, to wish Hearing Dogs for Deaf People a very happy birthday.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, come on, let's give them a very big round of applause. That was truly fantastic. Come on. Come on, let's sing along. Happy birthday. Round they go. Come on.
Thank you very much, everybody, and I hope you've enjoyed the Hearing Dogs for Deaf People display and that you know a little bit more about the work that they do, the fantastic work, and that you'll support them. Thank you very much indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very special thank you to Pam St. Clements. You're going to be missed, Pam, but your work for the hearing display and their team is fantastic. And a very big thank you, too, to Auntie Platten from the team. Great stuff. And of course, let me remind you, do please go to their trade stand in Hall 3 and hear more about it, because their work is absolutely fabulous. Well, ladies and